All right, stock to the lanes, please. Stock to the lanes, please, for qualifying session number 1. Stock to 3 and 4. Stock to 3 and 4. First call for stock to 3 and 4. We should have all of our hot rod, I believe, in 5 and 6. I need stock to 3 and 4. First call for stock, 3 and 4. Got, looks like this pass, maybe one more. Couple more maybe, and then we'll get underway with the hot rod. Two big tractors, two big rotators down there. Lots of equipment here at Darana Raceway.
To Darana Raceway. It is stop number 3 of the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series here in Hebron, Ohio this weekend. We had weather plague yesterday, but today brings the sunny skies. Absolutely beautiful weather on tap, and we are getting ready to go drag racing here this morning. Professional qualifying kicks off this afternoon. We hope to see you here. Every ticket is a pit pass. It's $20 at the gate. Kids 12 and under are free. This is IHRA Nitro racing that you're not going to want to miss.
And racers, we have a lot to get through today, so please, when we call you, heed the warning. When we call you, we need you to be ready to go pretty much right then and there. When we call you to the lanes, be ready to go. All right, they're coming back up the track right now, rotators, and they'll be coming off the track at that moment. So we're going to get ready to roll as soon as they come back up right now. Get things started here Friday morning with Hot Rod 1090 Index and I believe a 500 Pro Tree. $10.90 Index with a 500 Pro Tree. All right, fire them up. Time trial session 1 for Hot Rod. Our 1090 Index this morning. It is about 9:28 right now. Getting things rolling. right, getting things going. We got a Plymouth Sundance in the left lane. That is Rodney Rudrick out of Fredericktown, Ohio. Right lane, Terry Binkley, Newark, Ohio. 70 model Nova. Burnouts are complete. They are headed to the starting line. Everybody listening in IHRA.TV, welcome. Welcome to Darana Raceway here on National Trail Road in Hebron, Ohio. First pass of the day, Rodney Rudrick and Terry Binkley here this morning on beautiful weather. They are nice and straight, looking good. Right lane at 1095 on a 90 index. Rudrick 1099 at 126. Right lane, a little bit bigger mile per hour, 137. Camaro in the left lane. Joe Cardamone and Kobe Watson in the right lane. That 62 Chevy 2. Man, 001 red, just a touch early by only 1 thou. Kobe Watson, 1086 in the right lane, 124, little quick. Cardamone in the left lane out of Baltimore, Ohio, went a 1082, also a little quick, 126 miles an hour. Bill Wittenauer out of Crestwood, Kentucky, in his Fox Body Mustang, taking on the Chevelle. Mike Walker. Mike 028. Wittenauer was a little red, 016 with a negative on the left side of the decimal point. 1089 at 123. Mike Walker 1068. Way quick. 135 miles an hour. Kevin Sanders, Louisville, Kentucky. Another Fox Body, the green one. Right lane, the Camaro. A little Ford Chevy matchup here. Ron Foss out of Lucas, Ohio, in the IHRA Camaro. Left lane had a red light. LB3 started the clock a little early. That'll be an erroneous run for him, for Sanders. Ron Foss. 1054, 140 miles per hour. Pontiac coming up in the left lane. 63 Pontiac. That is Frank Jenkins, Gallion, Ohio. Bill Jackson Racing Engines and Jenkins Welding Fabrication. Welding and Fabrication. Right lane, Joe Clark coming in from Grove City, Ohio. United Garage Door and Foley Lewis Racing. Clark, little red, 022, left lane just sat there. Jenkins, 1086 at 128. Clark left a little early, 1088 at $118. Cars are looking good going down the track. Track looks good. Cars are going straight. Rudy Matthews, Camaro left side. 69 Camaro. Paul Brown out of Cass City, Michigan. Pro Temp heating and cooling and power glide services. That is a 68 Dodge Dart, white on yellow. I'm looking at our Darana vision, man. We got cameras everywhere here at Darana Raceway on National Trail in Hebron, Ohio. And right lane, Paul Brown, 1086, 146. Matthews, 1094, 145 miles per hour. Ruzicka, that's Mike out of Mount Sterling in the Duster, left side. Steve Yanikas, Rising Sun, Ohio, 74 Camaro, Gen 2. Ruzicka, 13 reaction, an 013 light for the Summit lane. 1091, 138. Right lane, Yanikas in the CoughlinCars.com lane. 1098 at $133. Carl Trader from Charleroi, PA. 69 Nova, right lane, Gen 1 Camaro. Don Moyer out of Pickerington, Ohio. Automotive Technicians entry. Right lane, 1089 at 147. Trader. Not a good run for Trader. He'll come back around. Pete Maduri, Northern New York, and a Cavalier. Cavalier Z24 for the Dynabrade Power Tools. Denny Napier out of South Lake, Texas. 77 Vega. I call that a late model Vega. All right, IHRA.TV. Thank you, fans, for listening in at home. We also have Speed Sport 2. Speedsport2.com. Racers, make sure that you get your racer packets. In the racer packets, you should have seen a QR code for the WhatsApp. WhatsApp QR code in your racer package. Be sure to scan it. Join the group so you can stay up to date through the WhatsApp messaging system. Scotty Reinschild, Brookville, Indiana in the Corvette. Morgan Napier in the 84 Thunderbird. I need Quick Rod, Quick Rod. Quick Rod to the lanes, please. Quick Rod to the lanes, please. First call for Quick Rod. Final call for stock. Final call, stock to the lanes. First call, Quick Rod. Napier with the red light, 1087 at a 151. Scotty Reinschild, 1087 at 140. Larry Payton, Kenny Underwood now waiting to do their burnout. Square body S10 for Larry. Kenny driving that 81 Camaro for Jags, Mickey Thompson, and FTI. 006 red for Underwood. Clicks the lights at a 1081 at 141. Larry Payton, 1085, 154. Big mile per hour there in the Payton entry, that S10. So we got a Vega, 75 Vega in the left lane. Jeff Smith, Kendallville, Indiana. Right lane, Jimmy Raper. Out of Hudson, North Carolina. Varner Transmissions, Par Racing Engines, and Champ Motorsports in the 93 Fox Body Mustang. Well, Jeff Smith, 003 red, 1080, 133, a little quick. Jimmy Rapier, 1088, 141. Beautiful morning it's turned out to be. We were wet yesterday. Beautiful today. I think it's going to be about low 80s. Low humidity here in here at National Trail, Darana Raceway. The sun coming up, looking straight down the track. Sun is coming up behind us over our right shoulder. Everything looking great. Staged up, and they go. Ray Miller, 002 red. Harris, 017 on the tree. Harris out front in the Summit lane. 1004, 132. Ray Miller, 1089, 150 on the throttle stop. Dennis Mead, Newark, Ohio. The IHRA Camaro left side. Right lane, Gary Williams, Bradenton, Florida, in the Overkill S10. Mickey Thompson, FTI, Fuel Factory. Okay, it's a GMC Sonoma, but go figure. Gary Williams, 1083, 144. Mead with the red light, 1096, 147 miles per hour. Man, these guys are hustling out there, keeping the track clean, getting the little rocks off the track. Pair of Camaros coming up now. Chase Mead out of Newark in the 78 Z28 right lane, Gen 1 Camaro. Tim Shook out of West Lafayette, Ohio. Watson and Rappel Performance Engines. Left lane, Chase Mead Graphics and Pro Pairing. Chase Mead Graphics. He can get your car. I wonder if he can do wraps for you. Quick Rod, to the lanes, please. Quick Rod. Second call, Quick Rod, to the lanes, please. Second call, Quick Rod. Final call for stock, second call for Quick Rod. Shook in the right lane, 1092 at $130. Chase Mead, 11 flat, 131. Ed Pauley out of Shelby, North Carolina. Par Racing Engines, Mickey Thompson, and House of Pain. 68 Camaro, right lane. Also, Gen 1 Camaro with the vinyl roof. Beautiful car. Jeremy Bargo out of Barberville, Kentucky. Going old school with the vinyl roof on the restoration. Good light in the left lane, Ed Pauley, 1088, 139. Bargo, 1088, 138. Okay, Beretta in the left lane, Jim Unum. KB Carbs coming in from Anna, Ohio. Right lane, Tony McFall, Tip City, Ohio. We're going to be heavily populated with Ohioans' cars here at Darana Raceway Park. Right lane, Superior Paint and Body and Burris Racing. Left lane, KB Carbs. And right lane is out front. Right lane's going to go quick. Oh, right on. 1090 at 116. He must be throttle stopping on the big end instead of the front end. Left, that was a different look right there, surely. Jim Unum, left lane, 1086. 160 miles per hour. And Marsha McFall in the left lane, going on a single here. 67 Camaro for the Summit lane. A few singles here at the tail end of Hot Rod. Stock, you're on deck. Stock, you are on deck. McFall goes 1090, dead on, 118 with an 036 light. Rob Foss, Lucas, Ohio, square body S10, circa 1984. All right, Foss goes 1092 at 131 here. Keith Williams, Barnesville, Ohio. The Belmont Chassis and Pickens Metalworks. Cutlass. That ain't your father's Oldsmobile. Well, a long delay on the throttle stop there. Dead on, 1090 with a 0. Good practice lap there. And we got the Catfish Camaro coming up now in the left lane. Sean Pitts, London, Ohio. Well, Pitts kicked it red, 015 red. 1084, 123. And I believe that was the last pair of Hot Rod, or the last Hot Rod to go down the track. Here we go with Stock. Rolling right into Stock, Scott Bartlett in his MS Automatic. Lambertville, Michigan, 79 Oldsmobile Delta 88. Big old beast. Right lane, Michael Hours, Xena, Ohio, 71 Dodge Demon. I believe it's a stick shift car in the right lane. Index of a 1240. Left lane had an index of a 1315. quarter mile all the way. Right lane 11:31 at 116. Left lane 12:14 at 107. Randy Eakins. Challenger in the left lane, taking on the Fox body. Mike Sheehan. Roberts Dairy Service and DeGrain's Dairy. Sheehan with a red light. Sheehan 12:04 at 109. Eakins 10:14, 129. And Eakins #1 on the qualifier. So their index is as they were when they were built, and each has a different index, and they have to go quicker than that index as listed for like a B stock automatic. Here we got left lane an F stock automatic. Blackbird Performance, Don Turk out of Lebanon, Indiana. His index is a 12:15. He's got to go quicker than that, and depending on how much quicker and how much under you go, puts you higher or lower on the qualifying list. Jesse Fritz, right side. Cobra Jet, 13 Mustang Cobra Jet. Has an 11:25 index, so he'll see what they do. Fritz, 10:36 at a $128. And Turk, 11:43 at a $115. So we've got a Mopar in the left lane now. Plymouth. Mike Cotton coming in from Arizona, Cave Creek, Arizona. All you fans out west listening in, dialing in at 12:30. Not a dial, I'm sorry, index 12:30. Jim Cackle, Hartford, Michigan. That's an Olds 442 from All-Star Performance in his ES automatic. Left lane is a GS automatic. $10.95 at a $120 for Cackle. Puts him #4 spot. Mike Cotton, $10.99 at 119. And Cotton jumps straight to #2. Behind Randy Eakins. Eakins still on top. 1.5 seconds under his index. Bruce Boyle, Manhattan, Illinois. In the IROC, the red IROC. Right lane, the Mopar. 69 Barracuda. Doug Duell for ATI, AFCO, Hoosier, and Fuel Lab. Boyle, THP, and Straight Line Performance. Red light for Duell, 009 red, 009 green for Boyle. Superstock, 5 and 6, please. First call, Superstock, 5 and 6. Superstock, first call, 5 and 6. Final call, Quick Rod. Final call, Quick Rod to the lanes. Boyle goes 11:44. Duell, 10:71. Boyle in #3 spot. Here's Thomas Patet out of Orient, Ohio. That's a 70 Chevelle Super Sport. IROC Camaro the right lane. Corky Welfel, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. And Welfel with a red light, 11:24. Patet, 10:73, 121. Chris Hall now in the left lane, the Summit lane in Elwood, Utah. Gen 2 Camaro for Maeda Motorsports. And Bobby Lundholm out of Charlevoix, Michigan. 68 Nova. Shake and Bake Nova, the red one right side. CaughlinCars.com. Another call. Super stock to the lanes. Super stock to the lanes. I need super stock to the lanes, please. Second call, super stock to the lanes. That was Chris Hall and Bobby Lundham that just went down. Good runs, respectively, in each lane. Here's Darcy Clark in her his 64 Plymouth Fury. Red Door Racing. Right lane, Gen 1 Camaro. That is Tim Barrett from Fort Ann, New York. Woo! Big wheel stand for Barrett. Wow. Got to see that big up on the Darana Vision screens. Left lane 1042 at 125 for Clark. Barrett, big wheel stand. You can see the greasy side up on Darana Vision. 1101 at 118. Mike Welfel now. 66 Chevy twice. Right lane, Scott Klingler. Coming in from Michigan in his Copo Camaro, a 22 Copo Camaro. VP Race Fuels and Copo Parts Direct. Good looking race car. Oh, left lane going towards the guardrail. He had to lift, trying to bang that second gear off the clutch and wheel it back in. 004 in the left lane for Welfel. 1130, 116. Scott Klinger, 999 at 133 miles per hour. And Klingler goes straight to number one in the Copo Camaro. 1.509 under the index. Bumps out Eakins 1.501 under the index. 8 thou between them. Bob Scheif out of Chardon, Ohio. That is an 80 model, a 1980 Dodge Murata. $12.19 at 107. Right lane 1058, 111. David Pazik from Upper Burrell, Pennsylvania. Plymouth GTX, 68 Plymouth GTX. And Kevin Anderson, New Oxford, PA, 69 Camaro. Again, I should have super stock to the lanes, super stock in the lanes. $500 advantage in the left lane. 1079 at 120 for Pazik. Anderson goes 1117, 115 miles per hour. Burnout's complete now for the next set. Nathan Riley, Laplace, but not Louisiana. It's Illinois, Laplace, Illinois. In his Trans Am, Larry Hodge Racing and Wheels and Tires. We got Chris Rozeka, Westville, Ohio, in his 14 Mustang in the wired up electric entry. I'll tell you what, that Mustang was gone. 902 at 151. Woo! Rozeka straight to number one. 1.570 under the index. He's got him covered by 700s. Great lap for Rozeka. Nathan Riley, 1173 at 112. Nick Ryder in the Plymouth Barracuda. Right lane, the Corvette. Richard Mace out of Jacksonville, Florida. Next generation power. Wow, Rozeka, 1.570 under the index, sitting on top of the dog pile. He's had 24 go down so far, and still a lot more to go. Ryder in the left lane, 1091, 120. Mace with the red light, 1176, 114 miles per hour. We have 700ths advantage between the number 1 qualifier and the number 2. Between 2 and 3, it's only 8 thousandths of a second. But 700ths between 2 and 1. All right, picking up a few things down track there as we see. David Batta coming up now. Sunman, Indiana. That is a 77 Firebird, the white car in the Summit lane. Right lane, the red Corvette, Jeff McKinney. Coming in from Estero, Florida, in his 03 Vet from Paul Boster. So it looks like we have a track truck out on the top end. A couple of people walking around picking up a few things. Just making sure it's safe. And don't forget, we do have Bob's Burgers and the Hot Rod Grill. Brian's Burgers and the Hot Rod Grill, they are open. Got breakfast being served right now, soon to be lunch. It is approaching 10 o'clock here in Hebron, Ohio. Darana Raceway. We got our Darana vision. We see the trucks up on the top end. They got camera crew down there. I don't think there's a mess. I just think they're out there just double checking everything. This is stock qualifying session number 1. And Chris Ruzicka laying down a lap and went straight to number 1. Had the highest mile per hour, lowest over under, and the under was 1.570. 700ths quicker than number 2, Scott Klingler and Randy Eakins, number 3. And between Scott and Randy, it's only 8 thou. And rounding out the top 5 right now, you got Mike Cotton and Nick Rader. Cotton is 1.301 under, and Rader is 1.237. All right. Track has exited. We got the gate closed down on the top end. Truck is gone. Track is clear. We are going back. And welcome, race fans, IHRA.TV and Speed Sport 2. Glad to have you watching and listening in at home. Dave Batta in the left lane, 007. Goes to the stripe, 1163. McKinney, 1051 at 124. Mopar in the left lane, 73 Dodge Dart for Eastland Crane and Witch Motorsports. Or Weiss, maybe? Caleb McFarland, right lane, Flemingsburg, Kentucky. Firebird, the red Firebird, right side. McFarland, 10:08 at 132. Left lane for Weiss. 11:31 at 115 miles per hour. Weiss was 008 on the tree. McFarland was a 10th. Got to tighten that up. Steve Tucholsky out of Ohio, the Chevy 2. Michael Walter Racing Engines. And Brent DeRoche out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania. Z28 Camaro. The Catfish 94 model. Brent DeRoche Motorsports. Oh, dragging the bumper into Camaro right side. 1,000 separate him on the reaction. This is just practice, I know. Get all excited here in Ohio. Right lane 1041 at 127. DeRoche dragging the bumper on that white Catfish Camaro. Tucholsky 1064, 123. Wheeling that Michael Walter Racing Engines Chevy 2 to the stripe. Mike Fenton, West Lafayette, Ohio. The Challenger RT. Red car left lane. Right lane, the Tri-5. Larry Nelson, Sunbury, Ohio. 55 Chevy. Man, big 4-speed RPM launch in the right lane. 22 red, but that's all right. Left side, 1024 turning on the wind light. 127. Right lane Nelson, 1314, 98 miles an hour. Next pair, the Camaro left side. 83 Camaro, the IROC series. Newburgh, New York. Hoosier Tire and Moorhead Honda. Right lane Dawson Pauly out of Shelbyville, North Carolina. Mark Lewis, Billy Wilson, House of Pain. House of Pain Performance. Tim Stickles and Scott Lennar. Right lane, that G-body wagon. The Passion Pit. The long route. Ron Moorhead, 14 red. He goes 11-11 at 118. Right lane, Pauly, 1278, 103. '69 Camaro. Randy Butter out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ronnie Trotman in the right lane out of Baden, Pennsylvania. Red Diamond. Left lane Service FNC. Ronnie Trotman, 1131 at 113. Butter, 17 on the tree, 1144, 113. So we got right lane on a single here. The 73 Duster of Pete Lanciers out of Spring Valley, California, coming way over from the West Coast here in Ohio. The F stock automatic. Turns at 1084, 120. All right, that was the end of stock. We had 39 cars go down the track just now. I need Super Rod to the lanes, please. First call, 990 Index Super Rod. 990 Super Rod to the lanes, please. First call for Super Rod. We are now rolling into Quick Rod. So Quick Rod's at 890 index and a 400 Pro Tree. Jared Cooper, London, Ohio, in his Geppert dragster. That is a Ford-powered dragster. All-weather systems, left side. Steve Taylor, coming in from Ohio. Muskegum Grinding and Machine dragster. You're going to see some big mile per hours, 170, 180 out of this class. Left lane at 889 at a $153. Right lane for Steve Taylor, 892 at 175 miles per hour. Paul DeBottis, Michigan, in his M&M dragster. Right lane, Donnie Hardman, Wallace, West Virginia, driving the Race Tech in the Darana green dragster. Left lane, Corrigan Race Fuels. Once again, we have given a call for Super Rod to the lanes. Super Rod, 990 index to the lanes, please. Right lane, Hardman, 16 red, as was DeBottis, 009 red behind him. Left lane, 889. Look at the mile per hour. A big 185 miles per hour there for DeBottis in his M&M. Right lane, Hardman in the Race Tech, 897 at 168. Steve Bueller, Freeport, Michigan, in his 23 model APD. Jason H. out of Lancaster, driving his American in the right side. Jason Harding in the right lane, 889 at 180. Bueller, 895, 182. Kenny Farrell, Rockville, South Carolina. The Under Pressure and RP Motorsports. Pat Martin, right side in his American. Transit Asphalt. Pat Martin, 002 red. Farrell, 14 on the tree. Left side for Kenny Farrell, 889, 179. Pat Martin, quarter mile, 896 at 184. All right, Leo Zenda III, the Trey, out of Clinton Top, Michigan. An 18 American. Zenda with the green light, 894, 179. Right lane goes 010 red, 876 at 180. On an 890 index, 876. A little quick there. Throw some weight in it. Jamie Elrod, Lima, Ohio, in his Pontiac-powered American. ATM Innovation, Sunoco, and Hoosier. Right side, Adam Gerber from Massillon, or Massillon, Ohio. Massillon. You say it fast, it sounds better. Also in an American, Goodyear, APD, and Make Motorsports. Super Rod, third call. Super Rod, third call to the lanes, please. Super Rod, third call to the lanes. And it's Gerber in the right lane, turning on the light. 887, 174. Elrod, 895 at 178. Tyler Schneider in the diamond left lane, Psycho B Racing and Y Safety Tech. Rick Watson, Race Tech dragster, right lane, Wired Up Electric, and CoughlinCars.com in the same lane in which he's driving. Left lane, Snyder slowed it down. Watson had an issue on the line there. Track official went out there and put their hands up. All right, they're telling me top end is clear. The officials are jumping back over that wall. We have our tall guys at stage down there, no short guys like me. Rick Watson here out of Buckeye Lake, Ohio, in the Race Tech dragster. .886, 146. Pretty much all out there. All right, Dan Supa, Evans City, Pennsylvania, TLC and Dan's Transmissions. Mopar-powered SW dragster, right lane, Bill Jackson, Mansfield, Ohio, in the big block Chevrolet Advanced dragster. Bill Jackson's Racing Engines, and Jenkins Fabrication, and of course, Goodyear. Super Stock, you're on deck. Final call for Super Rod. Final call, Super Rod. Super, 890 with a 3. That'd be dead on with a 3, 165 miles an hour. Bill Jackson, 892 at 176. Kevin Trusty and Jeff Burns. Trusty in the left lane. Still going Radical Racing from Groveport, Ohio, in his PAR dragster. Burns in the M&M out of Lebanon, Tennessee. Both of these look to be 4-link cars. Big block with a big blower in the right lane. Burns. Top Sportsman, you are on standby. Top Sportsman, you're on standby. Boy, I love it when that power comes back in. 14 red for Burns, 864. Almost 200. He was at 198 miles an hour. And a lot under. He was quick. Trusty, 887 at 180. 005 red for Trusty. Steve Edwards, Oldsmobile powered. Door car, one of the only, if not the only, here in our quick rod. Yeah, it's heavy on the dragsters, and we only have this one door car, I believe. Troy Williams Jr. in the right lane, coming in from Bradenton in his Phantom. MT, Mickey Thompson, APD, Fuel Factory, and Overkill. Once again, final call for Super Rod. Final call, Super Rod. Edward with a red light. 882 at $1.72. Williams for Troy, 893 at $1.75. Top Sportsman to the lanes, please. Top Sportsman to the lanes, please. Lanes 1 and 2. Top Sportsman 1 and 2, please. Jeff Stricker coming in from Pennsylvania in his Race Tech. Mickey Thompson at VP Race Fuels. Jim Glenn, Germantown, Wisconsin, in his Oakley for Glenn's Transmissions. Last pair, Stricker, 890, 180. Right lane Glenn, 893 at 175. So that will wrap up Quick Rod, your 890 index Quick Rod. We are now rolling right into Super Stock. All right, moving to Super Stock. Super Stock is also index. We got James Rawlings in the left lane, Jacksonville, North Carolina. That is an 05 Pontiac Sunfire. Hippie handmade headers and nasty speed and performance. Right lane, the orange Mustang, George Wright for Carlton, Michigan. Index Racing, and they'll be qualified according to how much under their index they go. In stock, we had 39 entries this morning. We'll let you know how many we have here in Super Stock. All right, Rawlings, 949 at 140. George Wright, 986. at 136. That was your first pair. Raleigh, number one qualifier at the moment. Rodney Worrell and Rick Nicolau. Chevy 2 in the right lane. West Virginia Paint and Decorating. Goes a 972 at 137. Worrell in the AMC AMX. I'm sorry. Worrell in the Cobra Jet. I was on the wrong screen. It moved on me. 905 at 150. Worrell, big run. And is your number one qualifier. It's only been 4, but. All right, man, we got 2 AMXs on the line, side by side. Eugene Chips and A.H. Atkins. Left side Chips, 002 on the tree, 995 at $130. A.H. Atkins. 884, 149. Here's Frank Beasley now, the Grand Am, Pontiac powered Grand Am. And Earl Rowe right side, right here in Ohio, in the IHRA Camaro. Well, Beasley with a red light, 992 at 133. And Earl Rowe, 1012, 131. Earl Rowe straight to number 1 on that pass. 1.42 under the index. Mike Fuller now getting ready to do his burnout. And it looks to be silver on blue Mustang. Gorgeous entry for Bellevue, Michigan. Mike Fuller. Right side, Aaron Russell in the Catfish Camaro from Washington, Ohio. It's a Camaro Super Sport. GTE automatic. Index of a 1040. Aaron Russell, right side, 996 at 134. Left lane, Mike Fuller, 1016, 132. God, what a burnout in the left lane. Woo! A big RPM burnout for Mike Price out of Navarre, Ohio. So we had Matt Obertanic in the left lane. Just went down to the wired up electric Cobra Jet Mac Machines. Right against him was Bob Marshall in the right lane out of Columbus, Ohio. Eastland Crane. All right. Mike Price doing a nasty burnout in that 4-speed Camaro. Garrett Gezzi out of Dalton, Illinois in his 69 AMX. That's the third AMX we've seen here this morning. Strange Engineering, A.H. Atkins Racing. And A.H. Atkins is sitting number 2 right now, just under Earl Rowe. by 0.3 margin. Man, Mike Price ain't scared to sidestep that clutch. Sounds like it's about 7,000 RPMs and he sidesteps the clutch. 1094, 100 at 94. Right lane, Garrett Gezzi, 1068, 121. So Price had a great launch. At the 8th mile, he was 640 at 104, and then it went south from there and he lifted. So he'll need another run on that one. Blaine Zakowski, Grand Rapids, Michigan. 85 Mustang. Mickey Thompson, McLeod and JRP. Jimmy Ronzello, Carlton, Michigan. That is a 14 Cobra Jet. Canary Yellow. Varsity Ford, JRP, and Coyotes. Trip zip reaction for the left lane, Zaskowski. Trip zip, clips the lights, 1022, 127. Jimmy Ronzello, 926 at 148. This is Super Stock. We should have Super Rod, Final Call, and we should have Top Sportsman heading to the lanes. So that was Blaine Zaskowski. Here's Brad Zaskowski. Not sure what the relation is, but they are related. Charlie Downing in the right lane. Right lane, 1005 at 132. Left lane, the Camaro, 947, 110. So we've got a beautiful blue Camaro in the left lane. That is Chris Hall. Coming in from Utah, his 17 Copo Camaro, Maeda Motorsports, and Mark Sanders in the right lane from Ohio, and his Cobalt. Cobalts make neat looking race cars. PK Race Cars, and Diane Lefty for the Sanders entry in the right lane. Chris Hall, 899, 150. Right lane, Mark Sanders, 946, 140. Herbie Knowles, the Hoosier Tires IROC Camaro, 990 at 133. Andy Kronbitter in the Cobalt, 955 at 138. Here's Dennis Stewart and Mike Cotton. Port Orange, Florida. In the left lane, 001 red for him in his Daytona. Right lane, the Barracuda, Mike Cotton. 1005 at 130. All you race fans watching at home on YouTube, IHRA.TV, welcome. I see the chat bleachers are lighting up. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Right lane, Danny Smith, 10-17 at 128. That's a Plymouth Belvedere. David Turner out of Fresno, Ohio, in the Challenger. He clicked it with a 9:41 at 139. Camaro coming up in left lane. I'm going to say Daryl Sierravino out of Milan, Michigan. Accurate Auto Repair. Camaro, Gen 1. Darcy Clark coming up in his 64 Plymouth Saloy. Red Door Racing. The second lightweight car built. The first shipped out to public of 50. It was sold new in Middletown, Ohio on that Plymouth Saloy. 9:59 for Clark. Darcy at 137. Daryl Sierravino, 10:07, 130. Casey Foss coming up now. 65 Coronet Mopar. Lucky Lax. Right lane, Randy Martin, Bellevue, Michigan, 73 Duster. Man, we got a pile of Mopars in this class. Super stock class. Index Racing. 500 bracket tree. Index Racing. Nice wheel stand for the Duster, right side. Nice and straight. 8 thou between them on the launch. Right lane, 10:57, 124. Left lane, 10:94 at 120. So we still have Earl Rowe on top. Herbie Null. Now your number 2 qualifier, followed by Mike Cotton, Andy Kroenbitter, and Dennis Stewart. But we still have more to grow. That was only about 30 so far, and we got a pig pile more to go. Doug Duell in the 65 Barracuda, Hemi-powered ATI APCO Hoosier Fuel Lab. Oh, what a wheel stand for Brian Oakes in that 69 Camaro. Hiptree enclosed trailer sales. Right side, 9:17 at 145. Left lane, a 9:03 at 146. Larry Eagle, 9:34 at 142. Ronnie Trotman, 9:30, 145. Terry Allison now in the right lane, East Palestine, Ohio. Race Tool Direct S10. Left lane, we got the red Camaro. A few more to go here in Super Stock. We have a pair of red Chevrolets, and then a burnt orange Corvette, and that will wrap it up. Superstock. 20 on the tree for Allison in the truck. 9:44 at 141. Left lane, 9:65 for the Camaro, 120. And the Corvette now coming up. This will be the end of Super Stock. So that'll give us about 37 cars this morning in session 1. I lied. There was a Pontiac behind the Corvette. That'll be the last one. Left lane 928, 142. And I believe here is our last one now. Pontiac in the left side. John Fretch, Cortland, Ohio. Summit, NGK, Mickey Thompson. And Fretch, 024, goes a 10-14 at 129. And that will conclude Superstock. Your top 5 qualifiers. Earl Rowe, 1.421 under the index. Herbie Knoll, number 2. Mike Colton, Cotton, number 3. Brian Oakes, number 4. And Andy Kronbitter, number 5. Out of 38 that showed up here this morning. So they're doing some quick cleaning of the track surface. They're checking it all the way down as we now change the clocks over to Super Rod, our 990 index. 400 Pro Tree. So Super Rod coming out. Top Sportsman, you are in the lanes. And if you're not, you're late. Top Sportsman, you should be in the lanes at this time. We're getting just a little bit of cleanup done. See some top ends, getting a little spray going. Thank you to everyone out there watching live on Speed Sport 2 and IHRA.TV this morning. These broadcasts are brought to you free, courtesy of IHRA and our official media partner, Speed Sport. Speed Sport 2 and IHRA TV will have all the action live through Friday's Pro Mod and Top Fuel qualifying. After which, the pro finals will be live on Speed Sport 1 on Friday evening and Saturday evening. You won't want to miss that. So go to speedsport1.com for further details on that. Be sure to subscribe and like IHRA.tv. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you're enjoying today's live IHRA broadcast. This is the Outlaw Nitro Series here at Darana Raceway, National Trail in Hebron, Ohio. Thank you for watching today's broadcast and supporting the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. right, here we go with Super Rod, our 990 Index, 400 Pro Tree. Jacob Elrod in the Corvette American Race Cars, ATM Innovations, and Abruzzi. Brian Riesling out of Pickerington, Ohio. This is a 91 Daytona, Dodge-powered Daytona. This is, again, our 990 Index and a 400 Pro Tree. So Elrod goes to 994, right lane to 987 for Riesling. Here's Mark Harmon, Sunman, Indiana, the 69 Camaro, pair of 69s. James Cosnett, Delaware, Ohio. Warren Beck, Speed Shop. Left lane, Mark Harmon, 982, 142. Cosnett, James goes to 969, 137. Both of them a little quick. Harmon was 007 on the tree. Gary Hastig and Rick Swank. Swank in the 27 Ford Roadster, left lane. Gen 1 Camaro for Hastig. Left side for Hastig, 993, 163. Swank, trip, zip, red. 986 at 154. Roger Wellman now. Coming in from Ohio. That's a Beretta taking on the Roadster in the left lane. Man, 008 for the left lane, 992 at 157. Wellman in the Beretta, 988, 154. All right, pair of Roadsters coming up here, or convertibles, if you will. Left side, Jim Kreitzer from Wapakoneta, Ohio. Steve Theodore out of Lancaster, Ohio. McLaughlin Oil Company. Right lane for Theodore with the red light, 009 red, 992 at $169. Left lane Kreitzer, 987. A little quick, 168. So we got a Cutlass, Oldsmobile Cutlass in the left lane. Roy Lauer out of Dundee, Ohio. Bruce Broker out of Brunswick, Ohio. In the Camaro from Ohio Crankshaft and Broker Trucking. All right, John Schnitzer went 996 at 159. Rocky Clark 987 at 175. Dave Fields and Gary Linkhorn. Fields out of Delaware, Ohio. That's a Cutlass Calais. Linkhorn, right lane out of Cumberland, Ohio, is 27 Ford Roadster. Dave Fields, 991 at 159. Gary Linkhorn, 10 flat, 155 miles per hour. So we got the Tri-5, Vince Gregory out of Lakeview, New York, 55 Chevrolet Bel Air. Josh Snyder, Salzburg, PA, 67 Camaro, 990. Well, Gregory kicked it red, 013 red for the 55 Bel Air. Josh Sanner in the Camaro, 999 at 130. Gregory, 990, 142. So we got Rich Pica out of Ohio in the Corvette, high caliber Corvette. Right lane, Brian Johnson. Coshocton, Ohio. That is a 69 Plymouth Valiant and a beautiful, beautiful car. So Rich Pico went down with a red light, 1032 at 147. Brian Johnson, 992 at 148. Jesse Fritz, Green Nip, Illinois. Camaro, Wasting Fuel Promotions. Camaro convertible roadster. Right lane, Kim Frittis. Would that be any relation whatsoever there? Both of them from Green Nip, both of them Fritz. Both of them in. Got a Camaro roadster and a Corvette roadster. Left side for Jesse, 986 at 165. Right lane, Kim, 991 at 171. Tom Diamond, 996 at 163 in his 27 Ford. Tran and asphalt and concrete. Right lane, Mike Coughlin, 55 Bel Air from Jigs. 004 on the tree, went at 992 at 167. Leo Zinda. Ring and pinion chop. Eddie Arnold from Ohio in the Cutlass, right side. Zinda coming in from Michigan. Zinda 986 at 174. Big mile per hour there, as was Eddie Arnold, right side 987, 171. Jeff Gerber, Scott Tuttle. Gerber from Ohio. The Roadster, Make Wellness Roadster. Right lane, Scott Tuttle in the Patch Master Indy Roadster. 33 model there. In the right side. Gerber in the left lane, 991 at 150. Tuttle, 990, 148. This is your Super Rod, 990 index, 400 Pro Tree. Joseph Carbasio, Clarksburg, West Virginia. In the Malibu, right lane, Mike Lagas, Cass City, Michigan. Z28 IROC Camaro, Level Performance Cruiser, Lagas Farm, or Lagos. Sorry if I butcher a name here and there. 6 foul between them up front. Left lane, 22 on the tree, dead on 8 if it were eliminations. Lagas. 28 on the tree, 10.04 to 153. Here's Ken Bowers and Carl Rechtenwald. Bowers out of Paulding, Ohio, in his advanced chassis Corvette Roadster. Right lane, Rechtenwald, Columbus, Ohio, in the Lumina. You know, I don't think I've seen a Dodge Avenger yet today. They used to be popular back in the day, but you just don't see much of them anymore. Rechtenwald, 004 red, 10.08 at 173. Left lane 987 at 163 for Bowers. Paul Fiddler. So here we got Steve Hoyt out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, Cavalier left side. Right lane, Corinne McMillan, Ajax, Canada. A Camaro right lane. Corinne goes red, turns it red. 992 at 162. Steve Hoyt, 992 at 178 for the Steve and Jan Cavalier. We got Jeff Smith now, Kendallville, Indiana. Buick Skylark, right lane, the Oldsmobile, that's Cutlass. Graham Motorsports Cutlass, Sean Graham, from Sunbury, Ohio. Daryl Tuttle flying over. Glad to see you, sir. Trip, zip, green for Graham. 10 flat, 155. Jeff Smith in the Skylark. 993, 158. Kenny Farrell now, left side coming up. Rock Hill, South Carolina. KF Leasing, Under Pressure, and TP Motorsports Camaro. Paul Richardson out of Woodburn, Indiana. In the Corvette Roadster, beautiful LED lights on the back. That's a good-looking Scooby-Doo speed buggy right there. 005 red for Richardson. And goes a 981 for Farrell, 138. Richardson, 991 at 169. Paul Martin, London, Ohio. 27 Roadster. John Sickish out of Belmont, Ohio in the vet. Left lane with a red light. 990, 168, right lane for Skittish. A 997 at 173. All right, top dragster to the lanes. 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Top dragster 3 and 4, please. Your first call for top dragster. Attention in the pits. Top dragster. You are needed in lanes 3 and 4. Top dragster 3 and 4. Morgan Napier in the left lane, 993 at 162. Brady getting up on that converter early. Napier wasn't even staged yet in the Lumina, the Donnie Hardman Racing Lumina. Turned to 10:04. All right, here we go. Top Sportsman. Door cars, Top Sportsman in the lanes. 8th mile, regular 500 bracket tree. James Hayes out of Troy, Ohio, coming up in the 63 Corvette. That's the split window in the summit lane. Right lane, backing up carefully, is the white on orange Camaro. Looks to be a 69. Nice and easy, backing up. Dead center. Top Sportsman. Time trial number 1. Or the only one. The track was wet yesterday, so that washed out that, but we'll contest yesterday coming up this Sunday. Today's a whole new day, whole new race. Left lane, James Hayes, 001 goes 453 in the 8th at 154 miles per hour. Right lane of 470 at 147. Randy Chestnut, Golden, Ohio, 65 Plymouth Barracuda from Indy Cylinders. Indy Cylinder Heads. Right lane, James Hayes, Troy, Ohio, 58 Corvette. Man, these are beautiful cars. Really unique paint schemes and wraps. Red light starred for Hayes, but that's all right. 025 red. And he goes through a 463 at 153. Chestnut, 458. 155 miles per hour. These cars are going straight this morning. IHRA has Darana Raceway here. Looking good. Jeff Gable, Streetford, Canada. 71 Plymouth Duster. Our friends from the north. Brian Werner, Hubbard, Ohio. In the multicolored Camaro, Abruzzi Transmissions, Moro's Auto Service Camaro. Werner purging the nitrous bottle, trying to get the pressures just right here in the time trial. There goes the left lane purging the bottle there for Gable. Mopar taking on Camaro. Right lane going a little bit towards the center line, and he wheels it back over. 420, 168. Left lane 453 to $155 for Gable in his Duster. Werner, it started drifting, wheels up a little over towards the center line. He had to wheel her back around. Still went a 420 at 168. Top dragster, second call, top dragster. Top dragster, second call to the lanes, please. Top dragster, second call to the lanes. The infamous Jimmy Fallon in the left lane, Trenton, Ohio. 68 Camaro. Right side, Killer Brooks, Whitetown, Ohio, in his streamlined Sicilian's Auto Body Camaro. Top, whoa, what is Brooks doing? All right, he didn't have much room there to move over, and he moved over a lot. I hope he's got straightened up there. Looks like he did. Well, Brooks, LB3. LB3A for Brooks, slowing it down. Fallon, 406, 179 miles an hour. And I hear something big and powerful off in the distance. So Killer Brooks went down. He had the red light. I don't know, something wasn't right with the car. And he just idled on down the track. Little Friday morning cruise. Man, love that sound. Mike Badia, Milford, Michigan, in the Cutlass, left side. Chris Cadotto out of Michigan in the Dodge-powered Ram. 97 Dodge Ram. And it sounds healthy. Let's watch this red truck. Top dragster, you should be in the lanes. Top dragster, you should be in the lanes. All right, we got Cadado backed up. Now he's pulling back in. Mike Badia in the Cutlass waiting patiently. All right, we're pre-staged. Here we go. A lot of power in that truck, big RPM. And the right lane, Cadado, 401 at 187. Soft up front, had a 105 60-foot. Left lane Badia was 103 60-foot. Badia 441 at 161. Cadado 401 187 miles per hour. Woo! Pat DeBottis now. 2000 Dodge Dakota. Corrigan Race Fuels entry from Howell, Michigan. White and blue truck. Right lane, the Demon. Orange and black Demon, Chris Wheatcraft. 71 model Demon from Indy Cylinder Heads and Caged Insanity. Very similar paint scheme behind him in the water box too. DeBottis, left side. Wheatcraft, right side. DeBottis pre-staged, waiting on Wheatcraft. He gets there. They're bumping in, tree ready to fire. Right lane drifts a little bit left, but he stays in it under power the whole way. 432, 163 for Wheatcraft. Left lane, DeBottis. DeBottis with a 486, 142 miles per hour. All right, the truck backing up now in the left lane. That is Mark Claypool, Harrisville, Pennsylvania. Dodge Dakota. Right lane, John LaBouse, Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Looks to be a Camaro from Indy Cylinder Heads. VP, Mickey Thompson, FTI, and Digital Delay. Nice lap for both lanes. LaBosse with a 007 red light. 481, 145. Claypool, 470, 150. All right, 63 split one to vet in the right lane. Mark Flagg out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Knights School of Welding. Left lane, Ricky Atkins, Milan, Michigan. In his Mini Cooper. Check it out. If you haven't seen a car like that, check it out left side, the Mini Cooper. Ricky Atkins. Flag out there purging the bottle as the crew adjusts the wheelie bars, gets them even. Kind of like junior dragsters. Dad's out there doing dad things. Left lane, pre-staged. Atkins waiting on Flag. There he goes. The Corvette. Flag, 415, 172. Atkins in the Mini, 481 at 142. leg 60 foot was a .993. Coming up now, ready to stage, Aaron Glazer in the left lane out of Kentucky in the Derby City Calibrations Firebird. Right lane, Justin Souders coming in from Louisville, Kentucky, left lane, Shepherdsville. 69 Camaro, both of them nitrous assisted. Aaron Glazer, 417 at 169, 14 on the tree. Justin Souders, 13 on the tree, good job. 470, 161. Burnout's complete now for the next pair. Ron Barnhill, Fredericktown, Ohio, Fox Body Mustang from Oakley Motorsports and Hughes Equipment. Right lane, Bill Webb, Centerburg, Ohio, and the Cutlass. Webb's Marathon, Webb's Racing's transmissions, and Badman Racing engines. Well, Webb kicked it red, 007 red, 486 at a $142. Ron Barnhill, 475 at 145. Getting ready to stage now, we have Lester Johnson, Cynthiana, Kentucky, 58 Corvette. Right side, Gerald Jones out of Milford, Michigan, in the Chevrolet. My view from the back, it's kind of hard to see the cars and what they are. That might be a Beretta in the left lane. I'm not really sure. I can't see. Woo, left lane. What a lap. 401. 183 for Lester Johnson in the 58 Corvette. Woo! Right lane, Gerald Jones, 448. Now let me tell you, they were both 60 foots in the .99 range. Left lane a 997, 60 foot, right lane a 992. But a half a second difference between them and about 30 miles an hour. Bill Yates, left side out of Newark, Ohio. 68 Camaro backing up still. Got the door open, trying to breathe. Brian Richardson, Woodburn, Indiana. That is a Pontiac Grand Am. Bill Yates, 006 on the tree, 424, 169. Richardson, 477, 146 miles per hour in the Grand Am. So we got the Cutlass backing up. Right lane, Ken Langlois out of Milan, Michigan. Long Transmissions, Mullins Auto, and Bob Profab. Jerry Albert, Avon, Ohio, backing up his Mickey Thompson and Jegs Camaro. Jerry Albert now. Ken Langlois. Nobody pre-staged yet. They're inching forward. Reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Jerry Albert, 426, 165. Langlois, 457 at 153. Langlois was 005 up front. Good job on the launch. All right, we got the split window Corvette coming up. Jacob Elrod in the left lane, Bluffton, Ohio. The Sunoco Race Fuels, Hoosier Tire, and Midwest Corvette. Jeremy Bargo out of Barberville, Kentucky in his Gen 1 Camaro. I believe the Corvette in the left lane is got a Pro Charger on it. Left lane for Elrod, 426, 169. Bargo, 458 at 153. Boyd Byer, Casttown, Ohio. Byer Trailer Sales. Boyd Byer, 402, 181 with a 990 60 foot for the Byer Trailer Sales entry. And that is it for Top Sportsman. Going to Top Dragster right now. Troy Williams Jr. here in Top Dragster. Top Dragster qualifying round. Bradenton, Florida. Phantom Dragster SPD, Mickey Thompson, FTI, Fuel Factory. Right lane, Gary Williams in the Folk Dragster 2024 new model. Folk Dragster for Mickey Thompson, Fuel Factory, FTI, APD, Mosier, and Overkill. Well, left lane for Williams, 463 at 146. Right lane, Williams, 460, 135. Scotty Reinschild, Brookville, Indiana, the American Dragster left side. Right lane, Wayne Landry out of St. Bernard, Louisiana, the crazy Cajun in his 25 American. Mickey Thompson, FTI, and Auto Masters. Oakley powered American. Man, Landry, 391, 184 for the Crazy Cajun. 0.997 60 foot. Scotty Reinschild, 456 at 152. Factory stock, attention in the pits. Factory stock, lanes 1 and 2. Factory stock, lanes 1 and 2 for your qualifier session 1. All right, they gave left lane the thumbs up. Tim Kelly in the right lane, Cincinnati, a couple hours away in the Nesbitt powered American 24 model. Tim Kelly, 449 at $154. Left lane 473, 147 miles per hour. Zach Sackman, Channahon, Illinois, in the Spitzer Dragster. Beast Oil, Novik Electric, B&B Concrete, Ty Trailers, and S&B Custom Fab. Ricky Molnar in the right lane, Seville, Ohio, in an American. GEM attachment and Arc Gas. This is Top Dragster, 500 regular bracket tree, qualified. And this is Q only. And Wayne Landry still, he's on top with a 391, got the whole field covered by at least half a second. But we got way more to go. Like left lane could do it. Close, but no banana. 397 at 181 for Sackman. Molnar, 430, 163. 397 puts Sackman in the number 2 spot by 0.06 of a second. under Wayne Landry. Frank Carpinelli, Dover, Ohio. In the undercover, the reliable Ready Mix and Horizon Auto undercover, John Brigodi. Erie, Pennsylvania, the JBE dragster. Wow, left lane, Carpinelli, 399, 183. Brigodi, 452 at a $151. Carpinelli, trip zip red, puts him in the number 3 spot. Forgots with an S? Okay, a Z. Forgots. All right, on the line, backing up, we got Jamie Elrod and Rick Schneider. Elrod, Lima, Ohio, is that right? Not Lima, it's Lima, I heard. In the American Dragster, Mr. ES Auto Sales. Hoosier and Abruzzi. Right lane, Schneider, after the burnout, is getting pushed back all the way right up here under the window where I'm sitting. The Diamond Dragster. Lost power. They're going to have to go fix that, figure it out. Elrod on a single, 452 at 153. Lucas Oil Products coming up next in the left lane. Tom Martino, Youngstown, Ohio. In the Maddox Dragster. Lucas Oil, Mickey Thompson, NGK. Strange. The Diamond race car in the right lane. That is Dan Davies, White House, Ohio. Well, Schneider, he got it fired back up. He's driving up the road in front of the bleachers now, heading back to his pit, trying to figure out whatever happened. I saw a mop or two out there, so maybe he was leaking a little fuel, I'm not sure. So burnouts are complete now for Martino and Davies. So Davies pre-stages first. Lucas Oil left lane. Stages first. Davies to follow. Left lane, your new number 1 qualifier. Tom Martino, 386. At 189 miles an hour. Right lane, Dan Davies, 403 at 175. Dennis Mead in the left lane, Newark, Ohio. The Race Tech dragster. Turns a 444 at 156. Paul Persinger, Ontario, Ohio. In the American right side, 452, 153. So Chris Stein, Silver Lake, Indiana, the 24 Diamond on a single run here in the left lane. $15 red for Stein. 395, 180 miles an hour. So right now you still got Martino with a 386, Landry 391, Stein 395, Sackman 397, and Carpinelli 399. So your top five are 380s and 399. 386 to 399. Here is Barry Brown, Blountville, Tennessee. Big block Chevrolet powered M&M dragster. Barry Brown, 444, 157 miles per hour on the single. Next pair, we have Jeff Burns, Lebanon, Tennessee. And right lane, no name yet. Burns, trip zip red, 419 at 172. Right lane, 433, 160. Sean Parker, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Mousescookies.com and Fuel Factory. Man, I got to tell you, we got a little bit of sampling here from Mouse's Cookies. And shout out to the pregnant daughter that couldn't make it here to the races today, but she went to the shop, baked some cookies fresh, and had them overnighted with somebody else that was coming, and they showed up here this morning. Sean Parker getting it done. Thank you to Mouse's Cookies, feeding the tower. Jeff Smith, Kendallville, Indiana, in the Mullis, select converters and APD. 436 for the Mouse's Cookies entry. 157 miles per hour, Jeff Smith Jr. 441 at 155. No, that's right. It's not a normal cookie. These are jumbo cookies they brought up. She hooked us up. Randy Chestnut now out of Goshen, Ohio. Hemi-powered undercover, Indy cylinder head entry. Right lane, Cara Jo Brink, Avonmore, Pennsylvania. Bullseye Firearms gun vaults undercover. Factory stock, you should be in the lanes. Factory stock, second call. Factory stock, second call to the lanes, please. Our Darana Vision looking beautiful up there. Got a couple of big screens around the pits, or one of the pits and one of the left lane. Cara Jo, 011, goes 465. 147, left lane Chestnut, 445 at 156. Patrick Forster, Pittsburgh, PA, still in top dragster. We got a pile of guys and gals out here racing in top dragster. Glad everybody showed up for the IHRA Outlaw Nitro series. It is Friday morning, about 10 till noon right now. Qualifying top dragster. Pac Forster in the American. Chris Ruzicka in the Race Tech. Blaze exhaust probes and wired by electric. He is staged. Forster follows. Left lane, what a lap. 404, 181. Chris Ruzicka, 447, 157 miles per hour. The next pair looks like it'll be a single. Frank the Tank Brink, Avonmore, PA. In his 23 American big block Chevrolet under the scoop. On a single, right lane. Cara Jo just went down a little bit earlier, a pass or two ago, in the same lane. Here in top dragster, the top 5 qualifiers, all in the threes. Frank the Tank goes a 454, 151, and a 007 light. Jamie McBride out of Pennsylvania coming up now. He's backing up the dragster. $26 have gone down so far. Ranging from a 386 at the number 1 spot down to a 473. So not quite a second between top and bottom. McBride, 405, 181 miles an hour with a 988 60 foot. And that will conclude top dragster. We had, looks like 27 go down here in this morning. So coming up now, race fans, we got a little treat for you. Larry Dixon's Nitro Top Fuel Experience. 2-seater. This is a top fuel car, top fuel dragster, 2-seater. And who is the lucky participant sitting behind him? Bryce Pickering. And how did he get that? Paid big money? Man, I can't wait for all the fuel cars to come out. Funny cars. We still got top alcohol dragster, top alcohol funny car. We got a whole bunch of stuff ready to go later today. Outlaw Pro Mods, nitrous. Just waiting on the go thumbs up from the track. Looks like the top end is clear. This will be to the 8th mile here on the double-seater. That's pretty cool. First round hot rod. To the lanes, please. First round hot rod. To the lanes, please. First round hot rod. To the lanes, please. First call for hot rod round 1. Need you to the lanes, please. Car number 382M as in Michael. You are the wait and see by. M as in Mary. 382M. You are the wait and see by in hot rod round number 1. All right, here we go. They fired it up on alcohol, flip it over to nitro. Woo! Yeah! I just wish I could open a window right now. Yeah. IHRA TV. Speedsport2.com. And IHRA TV. Man, turn up the volume. So right behind this nitro car, we'll do some track maintenance, a little cleanup, and then we'll start our factory stock hot rod, round 1 of eliminations to the lanes. Hot rod, round 1 of eliminations. 382M, you're the wait and see by. Top Fuel, Larry Dixon's Top Fuel Experience, 2-seater. Here we go. Wow. Race fans, what do you think? 339, 254 miles per hour in the 8th mile. 2 people. And a 929 60 foot, a 929 60 foot. 339, 254.81 miles per hour. 2 people. I'm going to say pucker factor 20 on that one. Wow. Jeez. All right, I'm ready. I'm going to put the microphone down. I'm going to be in it next. Holy smokes, that was amazing. Larry Dixon's Nitro Top Fuel Experience 2-seater, 339, 254, and watch your Darana Vision replay. They're going to get it up there soon. Man, what a lap. That was crazy. There's your replay up on the Darana Vision. Man, 254 miles per hour in the 330s. I bet you he's going to be smiling for the rest of the weekend, that guy. That was Bryce Pickering sitting behind him. All right, like I said, we're doing a little track maintenance now, doing some rotating, maybe a little drag, little spray. We'll get ready for factory stock. Hot Rod, round 1 of eliminations. You should be in the lanes. Hot Rod, round 1 on deck. We got factory stock.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the IHRA Outlaw Nitro series. If you're listening in here, we're actually testing our equipment here to make sure that all the folks at home will be able to hear us loud and clear, and making sure we can hear the truck over here from the announcer booth as well. Tommy?
Yeah, we've got a great show coming up today. I mean, just got back from walking around the pit area and talking to all the racers, and a great turnout of cars. I mean, we've had the biggest field we've had so far this season, and looking forward to it today. It's going to be interesting with only 2 qualifying runs.
Move your mic just a little bit closer to your mouth. Oh, mine's touching, dude. I'm good right there. That's as close as I can get it, short of eating it. Yeah. Heard Tommy good?
Yep.
right, looks like they are parking the tractors. And man, I gotta tell you what, these Mouseless cookies are delicious. MouselessCookies.com. They are really, really good. Man, I just need chocolate milk now. All right, factory stock. 18 Mustang in the left, a 14 Mustang Cobra Jet in the right. We got Jason Dice out of Edgerton, Ohio. Rodney Worrell. Deech, okay, Deech. Kind of like Cheech. Belpre, Ohio for the Cobra Jet. First call for stock eliminator. Stock to the lanes for pairing. Stock to the back of the lanes for pairing. First call for stock to the back of the lanes for pairing, please. Stock to the lanes at the back and wait for pairings. Deech was late, but out front. Quarter mile, 7:79 at 175. Right lane, Rodney Worrell. 9:43 at 153. This is quarter mile, 500 Pro Tree here in factory stock. And Taylor Deech out of Hicksville, Ohio. Taylor Deech, 782, 176. Right lane a 9 flat, 151. All right. Well, that did it for factory stock. We have Hot Rod, round one of eliminations coming up next. Hot Rod, round one of eliminations coming up next. All right, here we go. Round one. This is Hot Rod, round one. Here at Darana Raceway, the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. National Trails in Hebron, Ohio. Ed Pauley coming up, dialing in a 1090 right lane. Morgan Napier and the Thunderbird at 1090. They are all 1090 index. 500 Pro Tree. And it's going to be right lane. Double breakout win for Morgan Napier. 1089 with a 9. Left lane, Ed Pauley broke out more. He took 45 thou, but was 16 thou too quick. Had to be about 29 or better. Scotty Reinchild coming in from Brookville, Indiana in the Corvette. Right lane, Denny Napier, South Lake, Texas in the Vega. Well, Denny Napier was dubbed Trip Zip Red. Reinchild moving on, 1094 at 135. Kenny Underwood now, and Paul Brown. Left lane, Kenny in the Jegs Mickey Thompson Camaro. Coming in from Fortville, Indiana. Right lane, Paul Brown, Cass City, Michigan. For the Pro Temp Heating and Cooling and Power Glide Services, Dodge Dart. And to the stripe, 3 thou separated him. It's going to be right lane. Paul Brown, 1096 at 142, takes 19 thou margin of victory over Kenny Underwood. 1098 at 137. There were 18 and 15 on the tree, respectively. Here's Bill Wittenauer out of Kentucky. He's in the Speed Machine and Goats Transmissions Mustang. Right lane, the Camaro. Steve Yanikas, Rising Sun, Ohio. Well, Wittenauer, 12 red, gives Yanikas the automatic win. 1088 breakout time shot win, 133. Jeremy Bargo in the left lane, the Camaro with the vinyl roof. Right lane, Camaro. Rudy Matthews, Ohio City, Ohio. Jeremy Bargo for the win. 35 up front, dead zero. Takes a 10th. Rudy missed the tree. He was a 10th on the reaction. Goes a 1092 to $137. Rudy just did not leave the line as he should. Joe Clark coming up now. United Garage Doors. Tim Shuk out of West Lafayette, Ohio. In the Watson and Ruppel Camaro. S10 versus Camaro. Right lane Shook, waiting on him to bump in. Oh, red light for Clark. 008 red for the truck. Foley Lewis is out here in round one. Jim Shoup, 1090. It was 004, dead 5 to beat 9 thou total. Clark, 008 red, slows it down. Next pair, Gary Williams in the Overkill red S10 out of Bradenton, Florida. Okay, Sonoma. Ray Miller, Mansfield, Ohio, 75 Monza, the yellow car, Miller Transmissions. Stock, you should be in the back of the lanes for pairings. Stock, you should be in the back of the lanes for pairings. Well, Ray Miller was 002 red and is out. Gary Williams moves on. 18 up front, 1 above, 0. Tony McFall now, Tip City, Ohio. Superior Paint and Body, Burris Racing, Chevy twice. Jim Unum, KB Carbs Beretta from Anna, Ohio. 3 bulbs lit. Unum bumps in, 3 drops. We are green, and both of them not that great. And it's going to be right lane. Jim Unum, 1093 to 149. Left lane, Tony McFall, 1098. 70, we'll say 700 margin of victory. Big spread there for Unum over McFall. Next pair, Larry Payton in the square body S10 left side. Kevin Sanders, Boogie Lights, Fox Body Mustang. And the Darana lime green colors. 2 thou separate them. Small advantage to the right lane, but it's left lane for the win. Larry Payton, 1091 at 148. Takes 68 thou margin over Sanders. Sanders was better, had an 011 to Payton's 013. But goes 8 above with a 5 and got behind. Gave up too much. Killed some mile and a whole lot of mile per hour. Only 112. Les Harris and Don Moyer. And they are off. 11 thou between them. 1 was 00. And 00 for the win. Moyer, 006, 1091. Was 1 above with a 5. Harris, 17 on the tree, and breaks it out. Little quick. He was pushing the stripe to get there and took too much. Broke out, 1088. He took 20, but was 15 under. Had to be 5 or better to win. Take 20 thou, and you're 15 thou too quick. Mike Walker, Ron Foss. Walker in that 72 Chevelle. 7 thou between them, 1 was 00. Foss out of Lucas, Ohio in the right lane. Turns on the wind light. Foss, 003, 3 above 6. Walker, 10 on the tree, but 8 above and loses by 51 thousandths. Sean Pitts coming up now, and Terry Binkley. Sean out of London, Ohio in the Catfish Camaro. We got a Nova in the right lane, 70 model. Terry Binkley out of Newark, Ohio. This is our 1090 Hot Rod Index. Well, it's Sean Pitts for the win, 1095 at 122. Terry Binkley was 10 on the tree, totally treed Pitts Pitts was 061. But Binkley, you dial in a 90, you have 500s in your pocket from the start, and you break out with a 1078 on a 90. 2/10 quick. Or had him covered 2/10, he was 1/10 quick. 114. Good grief. Binkley's going to be mad at that one. I don't know what happened on that lap. Rodney Rudrick in the Plymouth Sundance. Right lane, Joe Cardamone out of Ohio. Joe Cardamone kicked it 007 red. Automatic win for Rudrick. 1093 at 126. So now we have Carl Trader and Kobe Watson. And to the stripe, it's going to be right lane. Kobe Watson getting the wind bulb, turning on the electricity. He was behind up front, but goes one above with the 2 for the win. Carl Trader was 10 on the tree, 15 thou better, and broke out 7 thou. He takes 33 at the stripe to be 7 thou too quick, handing the win over to Kobe Watson. Next up, we got Marshall McFall and Jimmy Raper. And the Varner's transmission Par Racing engines, Champ Motorsports Mustang. Little Chevy versus Ford matchup here. And we are green in both lanes. 8 thou between them. And it's going to be right lane. Jimmy, 1096. At 129, left lane was 1103, a 10th above for Marshall McFall. And left lane, Rob Foss gets the win. 1092 at 128. Smith was better up front, but goes 1096, loses by 19 thou. So little change to our schedule. Race fans, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. We have a race schedule update. Right now here in round 1, we're gonna finish out hot rod, stock, and quick rod, and then we're going to do opening ceremonies. So right after quick rod, round 1 of quick rod, we're going to do opening ceremonies and then work the rest of the people in during qualifying. Is that correct? After Q1 of the pros. So after we got hot rod now, then stock, then quick rod, then we'll do opening ceremonies. And then we'll pick back up with super stock, super rod, and so forth after the first qualifying session of the pros. So there you go on that. Dennis Mead. And is that going to be available? Has that been updated on the WhatsApp app? Not yet. Gotcha. Quick rod, round 1 to 1 and 2. Quick rod to the lanes, please. Quick rod, round 1 of eliminations to the lanes. Dennis Mead took the win there, 1094 to 147. Pete Maduri broke out 6 thou. Here's Mike Ruzicka in the Duster. Chase Mead in the Camaro. Chase Mead Graphics. How about that? Little play on the name there. 13 red for Ruzicka. Automatic win for the right lane, 1097 at 130. Again, we got hot rod now. Then we're going to go to stock. They're getting paired up in the back of the lanes. Then we're going to go to quick rod, which we just called you to the lanes. Quick rod to the lanes. And then we will stop and do opening ceremonies and bring out the pros. After Q1 of the pros, we'll pick back up in the Sportsman with super stock, super rod, and so forth. If I said that correctly, hopefully that was right. Keith Williams, Frank Jenkins, Belmont Chassis, Belmont Classic Cars, there we go, and Pickens Metalworks. Frank Jenkins, that is a Pontiac, 63 Pontiac for Bill Jackson Racing Engines and Jenkins Welding and Fabrications. Pre-stage, we got a little battle going on, little staging. Oh, Keith Williams bumps in. They were there for a minute. Keith Williams, 10 red, hands the win over to Jenkins. He was 005 red behind him, runs 11:17, slowing it down. And that was the end of Hot Rod. We have stock idling right here in front of the window, shaking the tower, ready to go. All right, here is stock. Quick rod to the lanes, second call. Quick rod, second call to the lanes. Stock. Scott Bartlett and Mike Cotton. Bartlett in the Delta 88. Dials in at 12:14. Mike Cotton, 11:04. Little wheel stand for the Duster. Reaction time advantage to the right lane and wind bulb right lane. 11:14 at 107. Takes 45 thou margin over Scott Bartlett at 12:20 at 106. Next pair up, the IHRA Camaro left lane, Bruce Boyle, 11:47. Right lane, Jesse Fritz. Wasting Fuel Promotions. Boyle with Straight Line Performance and THP. Left lane's going to go first by 2 bulbs on the tree. 11:47, right lane 10:44. Each bulb as they come down, yellow, 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 green, is 0.5, half a second. So you got 2 of those to the red Camaro. And considerable advantage, about 400s head start to the left lane and the wind bulb in the left lane. Bruce Boyle, 11:50, 113. Fritz, 10:43 with a 5 breakout. 5 thou too quick. Here is Dawson Polly and Bobby Ludholm. Dawson, the House of Pain Performance, 1285 for the Malibu Stabbin' Wagon. Right lane, Bobby Lundholm. Charlevoix, Michigan, the RET cylinder heads, LM Racing Oils, 68 Nova. Shake and bake. $11 thou between them. Quarter mile, left lane, 1287 at 97, 23 thou margin. Right lane, Bobby, he breaks it out, dialed into 37, runs a 35.9. Michael Hours and Larry Nelson. The Dodge Demon left side, 11:35. Right lane Nelson. 13:10 for the Tri-5, 55. An automatic win for Nelson out of Sunbury, Ohio. Michael Hours has a 049 red light, gives it away to Nelson. Slowing it down. Well, no, 13:12 at 99. And next pair up, Scott Klingler. Ortonville, Michigan, VP Race Fuels Copo Camaro. I think we got a couple of them. That's a gray one and a blue one that's out here this weekend. David Pazik, Upper Burrell, PA. Plymouth GTX. G-Stock automatic. 1080 is the dial. He'll lead first by almost 2 bulbs. Man, I'm about ready for another Mouse's cookie here in a minute. What you think, Doug? Doug's smiling. He's a happy camper. He had the Fruity Pebbles cookie earlier. 004 red for David Pazik. Golly. Scott moving on. Klingler. 10-11, 132. And right lane with a red light, 004 red. All right, Camaro versus Ford. We got Caleb McFarland, the Pontiac Firebird. Right lane, Mike Sheehan. The Roberts Dairy Service, DeGrain's Dairy Mustang, Fox Body. 12:07 leaving first. 2 seconds behind. McFarland will get his go light and chase. 2 seconds head start to the Mustang. Oh, red light. 061 red for Sheehan. McFarland's going to be the automatic win.
Bob Sheaf left side as my buddy Monty goes out and gets some pointers on TV. Sheaf, the 80 Dodge Murata, Dow 1219, taking on Chris Hall. Coughlin Carr's side of the racetrack in the 70 Camaro, Dow 1025. Off and away. 6 thou separate them on this end of the racetrack. Give the win light to Chris Hall. 60 on the tree. Gets there first, the 100th to be 43 thousandths over the dial, and his Sheaf 54 on the tree and goes 1224 on his 1219 dial in. Mike Welfel left side, 66 Chevy 2, down to 1132. Taking on Tim Barrett. 69 Camaro, down to 1109. Pretty sure I watched this thing in qualifying. Tote the front end out there a good ways. See if my memory serves me right. Yep. Nice little wheelie. Tim's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat if he wants to turn the wind light on here, though. Welf has a huge starting line advantage. And Welfel picks up the wind light. 57 on the tree and goes 1134 on an 1132 dial in. Gets him there first, 100th is Barrett. The 100 on the tree. And puts it 12 thousandths of a second under the dial in. Derek White left side. Dodge Dart, dialed 1133. Taking on Steve Tukulski. Another Chevy 2. D Stalker, dialed 1065. Chevy 2, small tire car. About 1065 and drop the clutch. Drop the clutch 005. He's got a good spot out there. 14 thou separate him on this end of the racetrack. And give the win light to Steve in the Chevy 2. Wow, nice lap. Beautiful lap. 005 on the starting line, take 003 at the finish line, puts it 69 thousandths of a second over the dial, and is Derek. 19 on the tree, and 58 thou over the dial in. He's going to have him sitting around the next day or two waiting on the Pro-Am to finish up on Sunday. Don Turk left side, dialed 11 forward in the Pontiac, and Kevin Anderson dialed 1120. G-Stock automatic hot rod. Oh, you could see that one. And Kevin might have waited for the green light to say go on that time. This is just about all Don Turk, I'd imagine. It sure is. 22 on the tree. Gets to the finish line a couple car lengths ahead of Kevin Anderson. And Don Turk will be coming back for round number 2 tomorrow. Mike Fenton and Randy Eakins. Fenton left side, dial 1028. Randy Eakins, Sykeston, Missouri. Dial 1018.
All right, on that last pass, Mike Fenton for the win, 10:33 at 123, puts out Randy Eakins, 10:25 losing time. Here's Nick Ryder and Ronnie Trotman, and they are heads up, 11:31 dials. Both of them dialing in at 11:31. They're both green. Woo! Somebody was late. They're not in the same class, just happen to be dialed the same. And it's a double breakout win for Ronnie Trotman, 11:26 at 114. 41 thou under. Left lane was 0.3 too quick. Next up, Thomas Patet, Orient, Ohio. That is a Chevelle Super Sport. Right lane, the Corvette, Jeff McKinney, the Paul Boster Corvette, coming in from Estero, Florida. And they're both C-Stock automatics, 1170 dial. And it's going to be right lane double breakout win for Jeff McKinney. 1065 at 123. Oh, 6 thou. That's right on the head when it's the class like that. Yeah. 6 thou. Margin of victory for the right lane. On the heads up, Thomas Patet. 1073, 121. Next pair up, Doug Duell out of Newburgh, Indiana in the CUDA. The Hoosier and Fuel Lab CUDA. Corky Welfel out of Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Got the 8-stock automatic Camaro. Big advantage for the right lane and Winwolf right lane. 1123 on a 22 dial. Takes a 10th margin. Doug in the left lane. Duell was 0.1 on the reaction time. Had a 111 reaction. Turns a 1080 with a 4 at 111. All right, here we got Darcy Clark and Randy Butter. Right lane, Randy for the win. 11:48, 108. Trip, zip, green, dead, 5. 5 thou from perfect. Darcy Clark, 042, and breaks it out 3 thou in the loss. Brett McFarland, Brent DeRoche. McFarland in the left lane, McFarland Chevrolet, Barry Chevrolet. 10:51 for the red Camaro. The white Camaro in the right lane, Brent DeRoche out of Hookstown, Pennsylvania. 10:47. 0.04 of a second between them. Basically, they're going to leave together. You might see a little blink of a head start to the left lane, but it's going to be hard to see. Nice wheel stand for the right lane. Left lane 10:56 at 125. Right lane 10:48 at 125. Here's Nathan Riley and Pete Lanciers. Left lane Nathan, LaPlace, Illinois. Larry Hodge Racing. 11:78. He'll leave first. Right lane will chase Pete with a in the Duster with a 10:89. So it'll be a 1 second head start to the Pontiac, the Trans Am in the Summit lane. 2 bolts head start. It was 12 thou between them up front. It's going to be left lane for the win. Nathan Riley. Margin of victory, 0-0-0-7. 7/10 thou margin of victory for Riley over Lanciers. Here is Jim Cackle, All-Star Performance, Oldsmobile 442. Dialing in at 10.99. He will chase Ron Moorhead Jr. out of New York in the Hoosier Tire Moorhead Honda Camaro. 11:16 dial. $1,700 head start to the white Camaro, or black on white, I can't really tell. Right lane Moorhead, 11:19 for the win. 114 left lane, dialed in a 10.99, runs a 96 with a 2. Takes 400s at the stripe to be 27 under. So the next, we have a competition bye here. The opponent is broken. Dave Bata out of Sunman, Indiana, and his Firebird's going to get a competition single, dialing in an 11:63.
All right, so final car in category. Dave Bata is going to come up here in just a minute. It's going to be Chris Rizika. There we go. That's going to be the team wired up. Factory Stock C Mustang. The Blue Oval Ford out of Westerville, Ohio, for Rodney Worrell. And Chris Ruzicka doing the driving duties. 9:03 on the top end scoreboard. That tree fires right side. He stands on the loud pedal. 76 thou too soon. And Chris Ruzicka will go to the top of the racetrack, Coggle inside, to an elapsed time of 9:09, 149, the speed for Chris Ruzicka. We'll roll out a stock eliminator there in round number 1. It will be time for Quick Rod. E1 coming up here in just a moment. You see 890 appear in those top-end scoreboards. It is throttle, stop, racing, a whole lot of dragsters, and maybe one door car in the category. That is what you're going to see here. Kenny Farrell and Troy Williams Jr. is going to square off in your first pair out. It's Troy T-Rock calls home in Florida. Floridian for Team Overkill Motorsports. And Kenny Farrell right alongside the South Carolina native. A pair of big block Chevrolet power dragsters right here. So you'll see those pre-stage bulbs light up first. They'll work their way in. Courtesy stage will be underway in just a moment. And Troy Williams, one of the toughest competitors in the category, turns it 4th thou red. Kenny Farrell is going to be 028. They come off the throttle stop, that high gear charge to the finish line stripe. The summit side scoreboard will light up at 891.9, 179 miles an hour for Kenny Farrell. Troy's going to go through at 889.5, 175 the speed, but by 4 thousandths of a second. He threw that one away here in round number 1 of the national event today. Jared Cooper is going to be coming up next. Cooper left side, London, Ohio, where he calls home. And Steve Taylor is the competition. The old school hardtail for Steve Taylor out of Coshocton, Ohio. About 45 minutes down the road from Darana Raceway is the guy on the right-hand side. So for Team All Weather Systems and Jared Cooper, he'll turn on that stage bulb, summit side of the racetrack. Flash and go. Cooper is flat late. He is 90 up front. This should be Steve Taylor all the way to the top of the racetrack. And Taylor, he decides to take, well, over 2.5 tenths of a second. He wanted to make sure he got there, and that he did. 889.5, 164. And Jared Cooper gets a huge gift here in round number 1. It's going to be Jeff Stricker coming up next, left-hand side, and Jason Harding. Harding, the longtime runner here to Darana Raceway in Lancaster, Ohio, where he calls home. Their American race car with a big black Chevrolet. They're on the right side, and Jeff Stricker going to be taking him on. That is the Race Tech entry out of Manhattan, Pennsylvania. The trip west this weekend. So Race and Jason, final one to stage. They're in. Here we go. How about Jason Harding? He is 008 and in control. Watch Jason do his thing. It's going to be 892. The winning numbers there at 178 miles an hour. Jeff Stricker goes down and takes 8 thou at the finish line stripe to be under by 5 thou. 889.5, 181 the speed, and he is running too quick off that 890 index. Next up, Steve Eckert and Donnie Hardman. You got Donnie Hardman there on the right side. Out of West Virginia, takes on Pataskala's own Steve Eckert, the Pataskala Flash. One of your only, I believe, door cars in the category. You go Oldsmobile. The car that probably started out live as a pro stock machine back in the early 90s has found its home in Steve's garage, and it is in 890 trim. Eckert, final one to stage. Red light by 15 thou for Donnie Hardman, and Steve Eckert advances here this afternoon. Door cars are cool, right? 891, 171 the numbers there for Steve Eckert. Right on down the summit side to be going into round number 2 of the category. Jamie Elrod and Adam Gerber. This should be a good matchup. Jamie Elrod has been extremely good here in 2025. The IHRA team in Northern Ohio, Adam Gerber with his American race car. Last time Jamie was here, found herself in the winner's circle, hoisting a IHRA Ironman. Would love nothing more to grab that first round win here today. Oh boy, this is good. 7 fouls separate them. 3 to a 10. Gerber's looking over. You can see the car moving left. It's moving right. And it's going to be Jamie Elrod, your winner. How about 892 at 177? Gerber got there first by 25 foul, but is under by 5 foul. 889.5 at 169. And Adam Gerber cannot get through the opening round of eliminations. It's Kevin Trusty and Pat Martin, your next pair. Pat Martin, a long-time IHRA runner. Way back in the day, the London, Ohio fabricator behind the wheel of his American race car with trays in concrete and asphalt. And Martin painting. And Kevin Trusty. That is the machine there, left side for him and his wife, Teresa. So Trusty and Martin, this pair is staged and ready. Flash and go. How about 2 foul difference in reaction time? It is anybody's drag race to the 1,320-foot mark. And give this one to Pat Martin. 891.4. He is 14 foul above the index and taken 9 foul at the finish line. That was a good lap. Pat Martin, moving on. Leo Zinda and Jeff Burns. How about Jeff Burns? The guy for Team Slushy out of Lebanon, Tennessee. M&M chassis. Normally in top dragster trim. And he says, you know what? We're throwing the stops on it this weekend. We're going to go 890 at 191 miles an hour. And Leo Zinda, one of those American race cars, the big block Chevrolet out of Clinton Township, Michigan. And he's middle pack in the mile per hour category. Oh, Burns is already on the chip. This is not going to go good. Look at this. Burns, who I thought was going to go red, let's go to be 004. Let's find out how the other end is going to play out. And Jeff Burns, he slowed it way up from his first run. 903 at 187 as Leo Zinda, who I thought he was in trouble at the starting line, gets a gift at the other end, and he's closer to the index at 894, 172. How about Steve Bueller coming up next, and Bill Jackson out of Jackson Racing Engine Stable. Bill Jackson has been an IHRA card holder since, well, probably it's in the inception of IHRA. A guy that has done it all throughout his storied career. The motor builder, him and his wife, Mary Ann. You see Nitro Joe out there on the starting line, his son. And Steve Bueller made the trip down from Michigan for Team APD. They're over there on the left-hand side. How about 4 to an 11? Bill Jackson, he is nearly 90 years old and has still got it. Oh boy, watch Jackson. Finish line, give it to Bill. 893, one for the old guys there, folks. 175 the speed. And Jackson, he takes 31 foul at the finish line. That gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? That's cool. Pat DeBotis coming up next, and Rick Watson, the car salesman. He can sell ice to an Eskimo, I can guarantee you that. The Buckeye Lake, Ohio, Race Tech for Team Coughlin Automotive and Jackson Racing Engines. And Pat DeBotis there on the left side. For Corrigan Racing Fuel, now, I believe Watson has a down track stop. So this car is going to leave under full power. It'll get out there pretty far down the course, and then it'll lay over. But he's been extremely consistent. Here comes DeBotis. High gear charge to the top end. Watson starts to look over his left shoulder. Who's it going to be? And give it to Pat DeBotis by 11 foul. 895 beats 890 beats an 895. I was dyslexic there. Got my numbers mixed up. Not the first time, won't be the last time. Pat Forrester and Jim Glenn coming up next. Team Sunoco, Pat Forrester out of Pittsburgh. Another one of the American race cars, Hoosier Racing Tires. And Jim Glenn out of Wisconsin. You got to say it a certain way. I can't really do the exact accent, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, now we're talking about Canada, eh? Need some maple syrup? But Jim Glenn, one of those Phil Oakley power plants, here on the right side. Had a few text messages coming in. I want to say thank you to everybody out there. It's like one of those minutes. You got like 10 minutes. Grab the mic while you can. And I'll probably have to go put out another fire in just a second. The bathrooms will be overflowing or stopped up, or who knows what will happen. Yeah, the Maytag repairman. Yeah, we're on site. We're here for you. How about 7 to a 33? Jim Glenn's in trouble. Pat Forrester with the advantage, and they're closing in the finish line stripe. But Jim Glenn, 891.5, beats an 895.7. And now your final car in category. Dan Zupa, team out of Pennsylvania for Dan's Transmissions, and Team TLC. Tender loving care, right? How about 159 on the buy run? Nobody says you have to be good on the buy run. 893, 166 miles an hour for Dan. Regardless, he is into round number 2 here in the national event for the IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. Hey, real quick, my name is Derek Beach. I'm the Assistant General Manager here at Darana Raceway. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and supporting us here this week. Not only to our Sportsman competitors, but our pros out there. A fantastic turnout. Absolutely amazing. And great weather on tap today and tomorrow. We are going to bring you some of the best drag racing has to offer here in the International Hot Rod Association. And I personally cannot wait to watch qualifying. You get 2 pro sessions this afternoon and evening. Most likely that second session will be under the lights, header flames and all. Nitro will fill the air. And if it is any testament to what we've seen in race number 1 here, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be fast. It is going to be exciting, and you're not going to want to miss it. So, like I said, glad to have everybody here, enjoying a great day of drag racing at Darana Raceway, such a historic facility that has seen a great facelift in recent months from the vision that Darryl Cuttle and his entire team has had to bring Darana Raceway back to its prime. A track that opened back in 1964, one of the longest-running drag strips around. And the history is just going to continue. Don't forget to stop by the Manufacturers Midway, see some of our official marketing partners that are on site here today, along with our merchandise tent. It is huge. If you are looking for IHRA apparel, look no further than the big IHRA tent there on the pit side. They've got deals. They've got hoodies, jackets, T-shirts, kids apparel, women's apparel, you name it, we have it here this weekend. Also, a huge hats off to our staff. This race would not be possible without the staff here at Darana Raceway and the IHRA. Such a testament to their commitment and dedication to putting these events on. We had a fantastic racer appreciation dinner last night, and we're going to do that again tonight, I believe. But some track prep is going on out there, and okay. So at 1:30 this afternoon, 1:30, which is 30 minutes away, 31 minutes if you want to be technical about it, we will go into opening ceremonies. And what does that mean for you as a spectator? That means when we go into opening ceremonies, you will see Top Alcohol Funny Car, followed by Top Alcohol Dragster, Snowmobiles, Outlaw Pro Mod, Pro Nitrous, Pro Modified, Mountain Motor Pro Stock, Top Fuel Harleys. Those are ones you don't want to miss either. And then we'll have Funny Car and Top Fuel Dragster. It is action-packed afternoon, back-to-back professional qualifying sessions. So it's kind of one of those things. Once you get in the stands, you're not going to want to leave them. Back-to-back pro shows. Our Sportsman competitors put on a fantastic morning with qualifying and a time run, followed by their round one of eliminations. So now is a great time to jump out of the stands, walk around the pits, see the pros, get some autographs, buy some merchandise. If you're looking for lunch, we have all kinds of food options here at Darana Raceway today. And then at 1:30, we are going hot on the racetrack with opening ceremonies and back-to-back pro shows. Once again, thanks for being here.